Nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is an essential component of many important biological molecules like DNA, RNA, amino acids, etc. Nitrogen is present in the atmosphere in enormous quantity in the form of nitrogen gas, but this nitrogen gas cannot be utilized by organisms directly. Therefore, nitrogen should be first converted to usable form, which is either nitrate or ammonia. Conversion of nitrogen to ammonia is known as nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation occurs in terrestrial as well as in aquatic environments. Roots of leguminous plants contain small swellings called root nodules, in which certain bacteria are there that convert this atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. Ammonia is also produced by cyanobacteria that live in the soil. Now, once ammonia is produced, there are other soil bacteria that convert this ammonia into nitrite and then to nitrate. Nitrates can be taken up by the plants and used to make amino acids and nucleic acids. All other consumers ultimately receive nitrogen from the plants. Decay of animal waste and remains of plants and animals returns ammonia to soil for reuse, which is converted to nitrate. And so nitrate in soil also comes indirectly in this way. Some nitrate present in the soil is converted to nitrate and then to nitrous oxide by certain denitrifying bacteria. Nitrous oxide is then converted into nitrogen, and so this is how nitrogen is released back into the atmosphere. Humans alter nitrogen cycle in at least 4 ways. By applying excess nitrogen containing fertilizers on land, which ends up in the waterways. By disposing nitrogen rich municipal waste in waterways. By raising cattle near the water bodies, and by burning fossil fuels, which release nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere. The first 3 increase the concentration of nitrogen in soil or water, disrupting the ecological balance. In water, nitrogen, like phosphorus, is a plant nutrient. It stimulates the growth of vegetation. The water bodies then become congested with this vegetation and become unnavigable. Sunlight penetration to deeper waters is blocked. Since the surface is covered with vegetation, oxygen level in the water fall. And when aquatic plants die and decay, oxygen levels fall further due to microbial activity. Ultimately, animals also die due to shortage of oxygen. Nitrogen oxides released into the atmosphere by power plants, automobiles, and other sources are converted to nitric acid, which fall with the rain in the form of acid rain and change the pH of soil and aquatic systems. Now the phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus cycle is one of the two important mineral cycles, the other being sulfur cycle. Minerals become available to the organisms only after they are released from the rocks. Phosphorus is an important constituent of ATP and other energy rich compounds, which are primary participants in energy transfer reactions in the cells. Phosphorus is also used in the synthesis of nucleic acids, that is DNA and RNA. Therefore, the amount of phosphorus availability in the environment can have dramatic effect on productivity. That is, excess phosphorus stimulates plant and algal growth and thus becomes major contributor to water pollution. Phosphorus cycle is a very slow cycle and much of it proceeds one way from the land to the ocean, and its return to the land from oceans is a very slow process. Phosphorus is present in the soil in the form of phosphate and in minerals combined with calcium, potassium, magnesium and iron. Living organisms obtain phosphorus from the soil. In the soil also it becomes available very slowly through weathering of rocks or rock particles. Much of the phosphorus that is taken up by the vegetation is returned to the soil, but some of it is lost. In water soluble form, it gets transported from the soil through rivers and streams to the oceans. Thus, phosphorus is lost by water runoff from the land to the oceans. Now, how this phosphorus returns from oceans to the land? One way is by way of ocean feeding birds. These birds live on offshore islands where they are protected from the predators. These birds eat fish that feed on oceanic planktons Planktons thrive where nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus are available. These nutrients become available in the water by upwelling of waters in the oceans. That is, water from the deeper layer through upwelling gets transported to the upper layers, and so nutrients also get transported. These birds, the excreta of these birds on land is known as guano. In dry climate, guano hardens into rock-like mass. This guano is rich in phosphorus and can be used as a valuable fertilizer. Thus, without plankton, fish, and birds, phosphorus would have remained in oceans. Another major source of phosphate is mining of sedimentary rocks. But these mining processes have negative effects on the environment. This has become an important environmental issue, and therefore a balanced approach needs to be followed to fulfill the need of phosphorus as well as tackling the environmental impact of mining.